Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Project Cars 2 with the Formula X. This essentially a slightly futuristic fictional formula car. It's pretty bonkers. I think it's a great looking vehicle. It's a really I'm okay if Formula 1 cars end up looking like this. It's, yeah, a really cool looking vehicle, and it is unbelievably fast. It's got near enough 1,200 horsepower, weighs just 1,600 pounds. It's a couple of hundred pounds heavier than the Formula A car, but it's more than made up for in the power department. Like, power to weight ratio on this is stupid. Just stupid. And I am going to be using it to go around the Nürburgring in the snow. Yeah, it's likely to be quite tough. It's likely to be very fast. This certainly does stand a chance of going quicker than the Ford. It's whether I can keep it together. That's the tough part here. I've got one lap to try and do this. My target time is an 8:44 set by the GTE car. As I said, this could do it. This certainly stands a good chance of going towards the top of the table, but whether it can quite do it or not, it's going to come down to whether the car's vaguely controllable or not. I did have a quick look at this before I set off, but the boost pressure is set to 100% from standard. We have got turbos in this. I'm hoping, this being kind of an ultra-modern, slightly futuristic car, we won't have terrible sort of turbo lag, etc. I guess we will find out as we get underway. Yeah, if this is controllable, it will probably beat the Ford. If it isn't controllable, then we might be in for a rough time here. So, yeah, let's go and find out what a Formula X is made of when it has to deal with some seriously snowy conditions. Now, plus points for this car are, of course, well, downforce. This sort of car is going to have a huge amount of downforce, so the faster we go, the more grip we have, although there is still a limit, and the faster we go, the bigger the potential for a crash somewhere. So we got to kind of be a little bit careful, and we will also then struggle potentially when we get to the technical sections. At the lower speed, the downforce won't be working so well, so we might not have as much grip in places. The good news so far is actually the back end is staying pretty well stuck. This is something that the Formula A didn't do. The Formula A had an immense amount of turn into these corners, and okay, I'm trying to get to vaguely close to full throttle, and it's not really working in those gears. I might get to full throttle there, but I don't really want to get air time in the snow in this car. Oh, curb was a bad idea. Yeah, well, the issues I had with the Formula A, we've had it with a few cars, is the front end has much grip. The front end can get turned in. The back end doesn't really want to have any interest in that. It sort of does its own thing. On this, we do seem a little bit better. Christ, that's quite a lot of speed. I don't even look at the speedo. I've got to concentrate on where is the road going. That felt quite a lot of speed, I'm going to be honest, which is good news. Oh, and now we've got this horrible, I really don't like these downhill corners. The back ends, they're kind of downhill and slightly banked. Whoa, okay, car, that was just a snap and let go. Thankfully, we ping off of Armco rather than that would probably be race over had we done that. It wasn't a massively heavy hit, thankfully. We can get away with that. I'm now a little bit more nervous about this car. I've turned in a smidge too soon up there. I'm amazed we got away with that quite so well. Okay, that's a warning, I think. That right there is a warning of don't get carried away. Yeah, this is better than I thought it was going to be. I really thought it was going to be a lot more uncontrollable around here. I was kind of expected to be much more like the Formula A with the back end doing its own thing, especially with the power to weight ratio this has got. I mean, it will move around, absolutely, but there is a remarkable level of traction, a remarkable level of grip through these corners. Just don't overdo it. This is a horrible turn. I haven't had a big crash here, and I definitely don't want to jinx that. However, the back end of the cars, if it's going to move out of line anywhere, it's going to be there. I guess thankfully it's a slow enough corner. It's normally okay to be able to catch it. Can I get some power down here? I mean, I want to. I want to get some power down here, but then the car does that, where again we'll catch it as we head up towards the hairpin. I don't know if I really want first gear. Probably second will work out of the other side. Yeah, it's not like we've got terrible turbo lag going on here. In fact, the turbos are not really causing any issue in any way, shape or form here. It's feeling quick. It's feeling quick. It's not feeling absurdo fast, but sometimes these cars don't. Like the Formula E, I was constantly fighting that car, and it still set a very quick lap time. Okay, it's got beaten later on, but this, I'm not constantly fighting the car, and I feel like we might be doing a pretty good job if we don't spin it when we hit a curb like that. That was Curse the Commentator in full effect right there. And yeah, we're fine through there. Keep it in third. Might be able to get some power down out the other side. Basically, I can't really go near, even contemplate going near full throttle until we get to about 5th gear. And then, even then, we've got to wait until the road is pretty much perfectly straight. And then we can potentially go for it a bit more. Have another lift through there. Here we go. Can we get to full throttle here without wheel spin? Yes, we can. I'm not sure I want to try and hold it full throttle through here, though. Sort of just light throttle and gentle with the steering. Like, it will take the speed. It's just, well, it's about not letting it do that. Yeah, the front end has got the grip. The back end has got a lot more grip than some cars, but it's still not quite got enough. Oh, that crest almost caught us. Gee. Oh, I'm glad I wasn't trying to be brave on the old power down there. That's why you will see that a lot of these cars have got to be driven at not much more than kind of half throttle in places, and I'm doing a lot of short shifting because otherwise that sort of snap would have been a huge crash. If you get caught out by that sort of thing, that's a massive off. Whereas the way that I was driving it then, I have time to actually get that back under control again. If there's a small bump in the road that you know, didn't know about, didn't realise and so on, and you're kind of committed, you're in all sorts of trouble. It's very, very difficult, shall we say, trying to keep a car like this under control. There is about a million things that can go wrong around any of these corners, and now we're into the real section that I don't think this Formula X is going to like. I mean, it's quick. It is very, very quick up till this point. It's what's it going to do as we trundle our way through here, because now we're into the slow twisty sections. It's very hilly, it's very bumpy. I don't really want to touch a curb in this car. I think that's going to upset it too much. Cars like the Ford, for example, got away with a lot of the kind of running the curb. Certainly the Renault 5 didn't have any issues with bouncing across the curbs, but this, I feel, probably would. Oh, that's a horrible turn. I really don't like that turn either. Again, it's these downhill, slightly banked, sort of slightly crested corners that you go down at the back end. It just gives up. It just lets go entirely. It's where we spun the V8 supercar. The very first vehicle that ran around here, that let go at that exact corner in a very similar way to this. I was kind of ready for it here. You just can't take any speed around these corners. It's just not quite the level of grip, the level of composure that you want out of the car. Now, this is a pretty fast corner. It's a very fast corner in the dry. In the snow, it's scary and sideways, basically. That was a curb. That was a bad. Get off the grass. Oh. Don't touch the curbs. The curbs are lethal. The curbs are absolutely lethal. Now it's bumpy and a bit nasty down here, so we'll bide our time. Of course, when we do get to that big, long back straight, we have got the power. We have got tremendous amounts of power to propel us towards, hopefully, a pretty high top speed. Now, the game reckons this tops out at 240 miles an hour. The snow tyres on the car will stifle some of that top speed. The added friction, the added rolling resistance, if you like, of these will slow the cars down, as we've seen time and time again. I'm not sure it's going. I mean, the fastest car is the Can-Am car, did 200 down the straight. Theoretically, I don't think the Can-Am car's top speed was that different to 200. Theoretically, this should be quicker. However, I don't know. I think it's only got 6 gears, and we have been getting up to 6th already, although I guess I haven't really been using all of the rev rage, as I haven't been able to. What are we going to get? out of this down the straight. It's up to 180 miles an hour here. That's a lot of speed in snow. 185, and that's about all it's got to give. We might get 190. The Can-Am is still going to be the quickest car in terms of straight line speed. Now, we should be able to hold it flat through there. We can probably hold it flat through the first part. It's not these corners, though, that I am concerned about. It's the braking for up here. Formula X, of course, has got fantastic brakes, but this is a very, very tight corner, and you can still lock everything up on snow very, very easily. One more turn to go. Don't spin the car. Oh, there we go. That's that wiggling. Try to get the power down for the run towards the line. It's not going to do it. It got bloody close. It got very, very close indeed. But it didn't do it. I am kind of surprised by that. Okay, if you'd initially told me that, maybe not so much. But the way this car drove, it wasn't so terrifying. And it was very quick down that long straight. Much quicker than the Ford. However, the Formula X is going to have to settle for a second place. It is 2 seconds down on the Ford. That's an interesting result. I did not expect that one. Did not expect that one at all. I mean, it is a comfortable second place, you know, beating the Astra Touring car and, you know, 20 seconds down the road from the Formula A. And it is far nicer to drive. As strange as that is to say, I really did think this was going to be a nightmare and very, very, very difficult after driving that Formula A car. Now, this is nicer. This is much nicer to drive. It's easier to be consistent. It's easier to be smooth with it. I mean, it will snap on you. It will let go if you are too aggressive with the throttle, with the steering even. But yeah, the Ford still leads. The Ford is still going to be our leader here. It's good fun, don't get me wrong. The Formula X, it is very good fun around here, but it is not going to be quick enough. Well, there we go. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.